So let's really get into it. Who really are the mean girls of Atlanta? Who are they really? Like, which of them are the mean girls? Okay. We're going to get into that. We're also going to get into Angie, Fangie, Angela, Fangela. We're going to get into all that she has to say about this past week's reunion episodes. But before we get into that, we got to talk about Kandi. Kandi, the candy coated clique, Kandi and the gang, aka the mean girls of Atlanta. Kandi has some things to say about that, some things to get off her chest, and we're going to get into that right now. But before we do, make sure you guys like this video. If you like reality TV related content, we all watch videos on YouTube and we all see, okay? We all see that liking a video is free. Okay, so let's dive in. Kandi was a guest on the Intermission podcast with Danielle Brooks. You guys may know Danielle. I think I first came to know who Danielle was when she was on Orange is the New Black, but she has a podcast that episodes release every other Sunday. Okay. So this week's episode features Kandi Burruss. And as a part of the conversation, shout out to our friends over at the Jasmine Brand. They happen to pick it up. Okay. So Kandi is firing back at those mean girl rumors and calling out the real bullies. She says that the people who have perpetuated that she is a mean girl are in fact mean girls. So who might these two people be? Because there's only two that I could think of. Uno could be Tamar, right? Could be Tamar. Numero dos is likely K Michelle. Now we could probably switch the two of them because K Michelle is the person who most recently said it, and she's said it twice at this point. Once when she talked about the candy coated clique on an episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta when describing what Shamia had said about her friends not really wanting her to be friends with K Michelle. All of this stems back from my belief is that it stems initially from K Michelle talking about her previous relationship with Memphis, who was with Toya at the time. There was a thing with Rashida and K Michelle. Now, over the years, all right, and throughout K Michelle's history of being on Love and Hip Hop, she made quite a few enemies on that show. And a lot of them, well, some of them being the girls from Atlanta when she was there. Now, where we are today, K Michelle has talked about her previous relationships with the women in Atlanta and not being accepted by them. So there was some hesitation with like really opening herself up to the ladies on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and how this is maybe a little bit of redemption for her personally, for herself, stepping back into this arena and proving to herself that she can become friends with these ladies, get rid of the PTSD, and move forward in a positive way. But it seems as though while she might be integrating into the group on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, it seems as though she's still struggling with the greater Atlanta circle of elite, of whom Kandi seems to be a part. Now, Kandi is like, because at this point she's been called out by K Michelle, not once, but also as we saw on this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, when Shamia was talking about an incident that occurred between K Michelle and she basically said she was already going to be going out with Kandi, and K Michelle had inquired about that, right? So she didn't want to mix the two because Kandi is going to be loyal to the people that she's loyal to. It is what it is at this point, right? So Kandi in this interview is basically saying, yo, the people that are perpetuating that I'm a mean girl, they're actually the mean girls. We have documented proof of them actually being mean girls. She goes on to talk about how her time on the show, she's never had the camera roll back on her for lying or saying something that she did not say. She's always stood in her truth, and she's just stood 10 toes down in her beliefs and for her friendships. Now, Danielle basically makes an assessment that what she sees with Kandi is not just someone who is being mean, but someone who is setting strict boundaries for themselves. Okay. Now, at this point in time, I've never heard Kandi mentioned K. Michelle. I don't know what the conversations have been like between Shamia and Kandi behind the scenes, but I would assume that Shamia just probably wanted to respect the relationships and understood where things stood with Kandi in regards to K. Michelle. Maybe she just don't F with her. I don't really know. Maybe she just don't care for K. Michelle's type in her friend circle. What I will say though is this. I would, with K. Michelle, I do understand that the nature of the show is that there is going to be some chaos and messiness. We get that. We get that there's going to be some drama. But I think the thing that's a bit concerning for me, and it probably should be for Shamia and any of the other girls, is that what happens off screen with K. Michelle may not stay off screen. It is very likely that something that happens off screen could make it to camera. And in that instance, where is your safe space with this person? And so I it, maybe there is some merit with keeping your distance from K. Michelle if you're Shamia, who may be someone who expresses things freely, lets people all the way into their lives and their social circles, versus someone like Kandi, who is and has been very hesitant and cautious around new people in the group. And maybe it would be best to simply observe behaviors and patterns of behaviors before allowing this new person all the way into your life, because now they can come for your mama. And they might just come for your husband too. Okay. So I think that's maybe the lesson, the takeaway from this, not only for Shamia, but also maybe a little bit for K. Michelle, in that maybe also too, that there is some further analysis of her own. And it seems that K. Michelle has done some reflection to basically understand that she didn't need to try to stop situations from happening on the show. She could just exist and see what happens and then react when it plays out. So hopefully K. Michelle takes from this situation in her second season, because I do want her to come back. She's interesting, she's fun, and I just feel like she just handled things all wrong. And some of those things that happen off camera, girl, leave them off camera. Leave them off camera. It frustrates the audience. It makes the storytelling sloppy, and it is you who is at the center of it. And all you need to do is be present and in the moment, because that is the K. Michelle that we really want to see. Next up, we have Angela. Shout out to our friends over at No Chaser. Okay, so let's talk Angie, Fangela. All right. She says, it's so simple. Kelly has jumped on the other side of almost every issue involving me. I never understood it. After enough unprovoked shots, I matched the energy. Anyone on my couch I supported, she seemed to enjoy doing it to me. I returned the favor. Hashtag Fangie. I stated in my review yesterday, I said there were times when I just kind of wished Angela would just shut up. I don't even really ever say stuff like that, but it was almost like it was so, she was so, it was not just that she had a comeback. It was not just that she was making comments under her breath to Drew. We saw a lot of that between Shamia and Kelly. We saw a lot of that type of commentary because you could tell the other girls on the other couch could not really hear what was being said. I wouldn't even mind that type of commentary. She's snickering to Portia. Hey, big sis. She's snickering. She might be snickering to Drew. But I think that the overall energy, the raw energy, is what people are frustrated by, and we don't necessarily understand it. Yes, Kelly, I'm not saying that Kelly is innocent. I think that Kelly gets them all activated, as you will see when you continue to watch the previews for the upcoming episode. But I think there's a bit of a difference because it just feels like a pattern with Angela. I just don't understand it. It always feels like the energy is just so much like, I'm waiting for you after school, girl. It just gives that kind of energy. It's like it's a whole different level of bass and bark in her voice, her tone and her tenor. That's what I really can't understand with her. Such that it came across to me like, even when people were trying to have productive conversation, that they could not have productive conversation because she was rah, 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 rah. And I was just like, oh my God, this is annoying AF. Girl, wait your turn. We haven't gotten to your segment yet. Andy has asked you very few questions. You answered those. Now let's keep it to yourself until it's your time to shine. And I get it. People throw in shots and whatnot, woo de woo. But I just think it's about the energy that you carry with it. But that's just me. All right. Somebody says, go ask Angela why she's so mad at Shamir, laughing about Portia, saying she'll F her husband, but not Portia. Answer is she gonna keep kissing the crack of Portia's arse to stay on the show. Angela, a goofy clown. No, you ain't got to go all the way like that with it. Angela says, baby, she did more than laugh. Keep watching. She finally admits to it. Now, as you were. Please, I need for there to be a jaw-dropping reveal about what else Shamia did. Because if it can top what Portia did or said, then I'll be like, okay. I mean, this has to be that Shamia crept into their bedroom and tiptoed over to Charles, made love to the man while Angela was sleeping in the next bed. That's what it would have to be in order for me to understand why she's so like, "Ugh." And I noticed that she does not answer the Portia part of it either here. Because that's the thing that we're all like still stuck on. If that had never happened, I think we would kind of be like, well, all right, I mean, it is what it is. But when we compare the two, the anger towards one seemed to be very, I mean, there was no rah-rah. There was no, I'm going to get you sucker energy. There was just a very demure seeming, oh, she said it, I didn't like it. I was about to put on my clothes, but I realized that I didn't want to get myself in a situation. Girl, we didn't see none of that. Anyway, the person says, then my thing is Portia apologized to you and wanted to start fresh. Okay. Okay. Shamia never apologized. Or did Shamia apologize and you didn't accept it? As seems to be the case. Okay. Shamia never apologized and kept a hard on for you. So why do they act like you're just attacking her? Angela says, I'll never understand it. C-Liv says, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the who? Angela says, the MF and gander. I'm mad at that. Shaded your suicides too. Angela says, the two of them have shaded my entire existence. She laughs out loud. Someone else says, I have to say, Kelly has been making comments about you and Charles unprovoked, so I get it. Get your wax, mother. I guess I would have appreciated this more if this was happening last season when Kelly was making those remarks about Charles. I do remember Kelly in that, what about that baby though? That did get on my nerves. And if I were Angela then at that moment, you could have definitely been like, woof, woof, B. Like, I'm about to get you, sucker. But the energy delayed this to this year, it just feels performative. That's just me. That's just me. Handle it when the things happen. Okay? Kelly got enough to deal with Portia. All right. Anyway, Angela says you noticed it too. If I'm not looking at the situation clearly, I readily accept it, but that's just how it feels to me. Okay. Let me know how you feel in the comment section down below. All right. With that being said, oh, there was one more thing. I'll kind of address this. This was sent to me yesterday. And when I looked at it, my first thought is, why is she using AI for this? Okay, no, hear me out. I understand that people feel two types of ways about AI. A lot of people love it and use it every day. And AI is actually really, really embedded in the fabric of our lives at this point. So there are aspects of your life that you are using AI for that you don't even realize the company has converted the use over into AI. Okay. People use AI for functionality, faster output processing, all types of things. I get it. But I think for me, when I saw this, I wasn't expecting Angela to use any AI, similar to how people really got upset with Khalees and her company using AI for her new sunscreen product, and then the company's response to the people being upset by it. Because it was a product that was being marketed to Black women, and you're not even using a real Black woman in the promo. So I can understand it to a certain degree. I can understand the shortcut for the company as well, because you want to save money. You're maybe not ready yet. But I do think that there's something to be said about, here's the thing, even with the Khalees situation, she really could have just used her face. It would have been nice for me. I think people would have just enjoyed seeing Khalees pull out the product and just use it on herself, right? I think the same goes for Angela. and these fans, I think that people are just really people who love Angela, myself included. I find her fascinating. I just feel like what she's doing right now feels a little bit unnecessary, but that doesn't take away my hope for her to win, right? And I think in order to really continue to win, I think that she could just use the fan herself. Like showcase the people, tell them, take them through the process like she does here. Shout out to our friends from Housewives from a Housewife who had posted this. I guess it was a clip from a live that Angela did. So take a listen.
AI promo, baby, you wrong for that. You wrong for that because you typed in AI to get that comment. You know what? It is what it is. But we are doing a photo shoot and a full casting for Fangie for the website. And it's crazy because I would have never, you guys know how long I had these fans? I've had inventory since last year, over a year. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'll wait. And my team just released it. And so that's how y'all saw us kind of like perfecting it and trying to work out all the tweaks in real time. Because I would have never did it this soon. You got some ideas?
I do. Okay, I do. And y'all know because we talk business a lot of times on this channel, one of the things that I would personally just suggest for her is to start a YouTube channel or really start like a little bit of a series of a Reels series on her Instagram where you just take people through the process of like what's going on with the fans. A lot of things right now are founder led, like in terms of companies, and a lot of companies are seeing success by just having the founder go through the process of what is actually happening with the brand. Show us the process. We don't have the crystal studded fans right now. Well, okay, that's fine. Show us, tell us why, like where they are in the ordering process. And she may have done this. This video right here may be the first step in what she's doing. But I do think that taking people behind the scenes of the process helps them understand and also builds that brand equity, that brand trust, so that people can identify her and the fan even more, right? And there's a deeper meaning behind it. She talks about that in another video on Housewives from a Housewife, where this particular version of the fan, it is dedicated to her mother, right? So tying in those memories, I think as well, is going to be a big brand builder for what she's attempting to accomplish here. And I think that it's possible. It really, really is. But the rollout of it feels very, very slow. She also blames her team in this for releasing the AI image, the video, and for which, listen, here's the thing. Again, I'm not mad at the use of AI, but I also think that it just could come in tandem with actually using it, her actually using it, because that's what people want. People want the association with Angela herself using the fan. And when they use the fan, they feel a little bit like Angela. They get that fabulous, sassy attitude that I'm going to read you down that everybody, that we all love. But we love it when it's earned, when the moment is like, yes, go get her, girl. But it doesn't, that's the problem. That is it. The moments that she's giving, they don't feel earned. They just feel antagonistic, to be antagonistic. And Angela functions best when she's natural. And she's just, no, you didn't come for me, girl. I got you. Well, let's go. Let's go. Since you want to go, it's kind of like going back to Kandi. It's kind of like that don't start none, won't be none sense of Housewives. That's what I love. That's what I thought we were getting with Angela because she was forced to defend herself a lot last season. And I just think that I would prefer to see that person again versus this person that comes in. I'm ready for whatever. I done got my information in files and folders and this, that, and the third. No, you don't need to do all that. Some people do because they don't have what you have. But you don't need to do it. And I think that is what is most disappointing to me. Just wanted to give you guys that little bit of tea and my own personal insight and my own personal thoughts about what she could do with her own branding. Because I think she's got something. And I think she just needs to hit the ball, hit the ball out of the park and just show up and you show people what the fan is all about. All right. Anyway, that's it for me in your branding one-on-one session today. I know you got more than you bargained for with this video, but that's what I'm here for. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.